Good morning, all. Welcome to our weekly town hall with Lama Surya Das, and we have Lama Surya Das with us here today. So after a few announcements, we'll get right to it. First, want to bring your attention to our master class. That starts this coming Saturday. So if you haven't yet registered, remember you get a discount for registering for all 8. You can sign up for individual ones. If you're a member, you get even further discounts. So please join us. And then we have our residential retreat at the end of October, which is very exciting since it's been 4 years since we've been together. He is checking for us today. So if you have any questions, if Lama has time at the end and you want to ask any questions, please send them to where it says Zogen Foundation down in your chat. So, Lama?
Let's fix the screen here.
Yeah, we see too much wall and not enough of you.
You'll have enough of me soon, maybe too much. Hi, everybody. Good morning. And a beautiful Sunday it is. Still summer. Although it's too summery and hot in some places and people suffering for sure with our climate change and other issues. Nice to see you all, and so wonderful to get together and raise the spirit like this and have some moments of inner peace and outer peace and harmony together. No one can do this alone. Believe me, I've tried. Let's have a moment of silence and heartfelt openness, empathy, sympathy to all those who are suffering extraordinarily in this world, those ravaged by hurricanes in the southeast of America, United States, in Colorado, the disastrous fires in Maui, so dear to our hearts where I go. I've been going for years every winter to visit Ram Dass and other satsang friends. And those suffering, the war in Ukraine and elsewhere, not to mention what's going on in the rest of the world or in our own country, inner city, schools and malls. I don't have to mention that. The new horrors of domestic terrorism, many multiple deaths and shootings. Damn. So let's be a light in this world rather than a blight on the landscape, a bodhisattva, an altruistic compassionator, an awakener, a Buddha being, bodhisattva. A moment of silence, opening our hearts and arms together, including all, embracing all, one with all. Love. Ah. May all beings everywhere, whom we are inseparably be interconnected, be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, and free. And may we all together complete this marvelous, mysterious, miraculous life, spiritual journey. One Sangha, one satsang, one family, one beloved community. Oneness, wholeness, harmony. As it's been summertime and I've somewhat taken August off except for my writing, I'm going to the movies again. I saw the movie about Oppenheimer. It got me really touched, the drama, the moral questions, the great science minds, quantum physics and all that. It reminded me of somebody I used to study in college. Schrodinger, maybe you remember Erwin Schrodinger, Schrodinger's cat. It's a famous story. Schrodinger said something like, he was a great physicist of the time. He said something like, so many beings, so many dimensions, all contained in one, here, now, each of us. That's the kind of quantum leap or physics and science I like. Unity and diversity, not just spacing out into the oneness either, or getting lost in the big zero like nihilism. Unity and diversity, recognizing the unity as well as the diversity, and functioning in both absolute and relative senses. Head in the sky, eyes uplifted, head in the clouds, feet firm on the earth, walking our talk. Pilgrimaging together. So let's settle right into it. Right here and now. Everything included, like in the mandala. No center, no periphery, it's all center. Like a hologram, the whole is included in each part, echoing the ancient Buddhist Avatamsaka Sutra, the Flower Garland Sutra, the great web of Indra, where every interstices is like a diamond mirror reflecting the whole in each single one. Look it up. The Avatamsaka Sutra. All in one, one for all. The Bodhisattva way. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. Sitting, relaxing, arriving. Just breathing and smiling. So simple, so freeing. Letting everything else go. Imaho. Awe, wonder, gratitude. Imaho. Eureka. Amazing. Assume your Buddha seat. Why assume otherwise? Who do you think you're not, friends? Bodhisattvas. Assume your Buddha seat. Just sit, just breathe, just be. Breathe, relax, smile, center, focus. Recollect yourself. Recollect your scattered thoughts and energies here in the present moment. Recollection. Collectedness is the root of mindfulness. Contemplative prayer, awakefulness, awakening in the presence of the present, awakening the presence of God, as Father Thomas Keating calls it in his marvelous Christian centering prayer. We're just awakening, present, awakeful, alert, as we say in Buddhist meditation texts, simply sustaining present wakefulness, as Chikanima Rinpoche sings in one of his Vajra songs, Songs of Enlightenment. Simply sustaining present wakefulness, that's our meditation. Not chanting, visualizing, wishing and hoping or fearing or waiting. It's too late to wait. It's too early to hurry. Imaho. Just sitting, just breathing, just being together. How sweet it is. Awareness, aware of awareness. Everything open, naked, inclusive. Come home to yourself with a capital S, beyond the ego and separateness. See through the illusion of separation and rest free and easy. here and now, as it is, as you are. Beautiful. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This breath, only breath, this moment as if only moment. Nowness, awareness, the true Buddha within. Wow. Let go. Let things come and go. That's the secret of letting go. Letting be. How freeing. Naked being. Buddha nature, your Buddha-ness. Imaho. Thank you. Love you. Way to go. Imaho. In Tibet, we meditate with eyes open, ears open, nose open, throat open, mouth open, everything open, relaxed. Sky gazing, space mingling, infinite dissolving, letting go, letting be. Resting in the ultimate sphere, the great Tigli, the totality. Your Buddha seat, come home to yourself and to all. Love is the way, the truth, and the life, the light. See it and be it. Imaho. Thank you. Love you. Way to go. I see you, blue, people of Kuntazampo. No need to seek unobtainium. This is it, the real stuff, the right stuff. You're the right person in the right place at the right time. Dig it. Wow. Thank you. relaxed, at ease. Like the drill sergeant says, attention, and at ease, just at ease, natural flow. Naturalness and ordinariness is the way, the truth, and the life. Natural mind, original heart mind, is the Buddha nature, is the Buddha within. Natural mind is Buddha mind, Buddha heart. Open, aware, incandescently present and wakeful. The three pillars of natural meditation, Buddha's meditation, Dzogchen meditation. The natural great perfection, the innate great perfection, Dzogchen. The direct portal. Buddha now. Buddhahood this lifetime, as Dudjom Rinpoche calls it, Buddha now. And how? Thank you. Even Dudjom Rinpoche said, in this teaching, in this practice, even if you don't get completely enlightened in this lifetime, at least you'll get off, you'll get excited. That's a direct translation quote. At least you'll get lift off, you'll get excited. I love it. Take the pressure off. We don't all have to do it right now. Just balancing, doing with being. Rest in being. Not a human doing, a human being, just being present, attentive, awakeful. With it rather than again it. Oh. Just so. As it is. Yes. The joy of meditation, the joy of awakening. Imo. Seed syllable of Dzogchen. The first letter of the Tibetan, the Sanskrit alphabet. With a big out breath. Hard to think when you're ahing. Be the Wizard of Oz. You have the power. The blessings. The great endowments. Oh. 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 Om Mani Padme Hori. 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 Om Mani Mani Padme Hum. Om 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 Mani Padme Hum. Mantra 3, the mantra of unconditional love and great compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. The Dalai Lama's mantra, Chenrezi's mantra, Avalokita's mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Kuan Yin's mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Padme Hum. Padme Hum. May all beings be happy, content, fulfilled, be free from harm and fear and suffering, anxiety. All beings who suffer similarly, just like we do, who want to need the same as we do, pursuing it through different means. May all be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, and free. May there be an end to war and violence, injustice and oppression. Pestilence, natural disasters. And may we all together complete this marvelous spiritual journey. One family, one Sangha, one beloved community, as Martin Luther King called it. One beyond oneness or noneness or duality. Oneness can only take you so far. Don't hold on to it or the idea. 1 + 1 = oneness. It's not a zero-sum game or rational. Love to one and all. And homage to the innate great perfection. May all realize it and be benefited by it and embody it and exude it for the benefit of one and all. Eddie, could we see? Okay, that's good. The Millennium Prayer. We'll chant that together. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may all be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. As I heard in the Christian service today, just going to add in, may your teams win. I even heard, may you catch good fish today. We'll pass on that, just keep going. May there be peace and harmony in this world and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression. greed, and cruelty. May we all be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, stress, and insecurity. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey all the way home. This is a precious moment. We're getting together. It's Sunday, Christian Sabbath, a day of rest, a day to remember the highest, what's important, or whatever you believe in, beyond belief, have conviction in, find solace in, prioritizing those you love, not wasting time, killing time, just wasting life, deadening yourself. Prioritizing what's important, which only you can decide for yourself, really. You might learn from others, but still we're each responsible for ourselves. Spending time with those loved ones who depend on us and we depend on, who we care about. Giving them our all in mutual reciprocity, not codependence. Mutual reciprocity, giving and receiving. Open yourself to receiving too, friends. Don't hijack all the giving. Back to school days. Much to think about, old or young, with or without masks, vaccinations, elections, not to mention war and terrorism and global environmental degradation. Plenty to think about, but thinking isn't the only tool we have. For simplicity's sake, that's just one side of the brain, the left side. If I remember correctly, the right side is intuition, feeling, gnosis, not just rational thought, but recognizing the pattern all at once. Creativity, mystery, surprise. Every day's a good day when we learn something new. Every day's a good day when we're surprised. Every day's a good day when your heart and mind, body and soul, spirit and energy are in accord, are aligned, are, dare I use the word, are good. That's up to each of us and all of us together to contribute, to be a distributor, not just a consumer, to share the wealth, to share and pass on, pay forward what's come to us, large or small, as Mother Teresa of Calcutta said, the late Saint Mother Teresa, so short, so diminutive in stature, so great in heart, and beneficial, compassionate accomplishments, so generous, so self-giving. Mother Teresa said, we can't all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. That's what makes them great. I'll go further. That's what makes oneself great, without emphasizing yourself there. Do small things with great love, and you'll be great and feel great. And it will include whoever's around you or has the fortune to touch you, human or otherwise. Even our pets, even our neighbors, even the squirrels and the birds and the trees. So please join us as we continue with our Sunday town hall meditations, free and open to the public, that I started at the beginning of the pandemic as a service to the community, as something I wanted to do, to give back, to appreciate. in my mission of transmission, my mission of transforming the rigid, intimidating, cynical atmosphere of spirituality in this country, in this world. Transform the atmosphere, and everything within changes. Please join us as we continue and we get going again our residential in-person retreat programs after the pandemic and all. In October for 6 days in beautiful Malibu at Sarah Retreat Center up in the hill overlooking the Pacific. The last 3rd of October. Please join us in ongoing programs that we're organizing and planning. Or whatever you feel is near you or good or online, you can access easily. Be well and all shall be well in this best of all possible worlds, to quote a medieval Christian mystic woman. We don't hear this enough from the pulpits we grew up with, or even today. She said, all is well and all shall be well in this best of all possible worlds. That's not to deny the suffering and the shitstorm that we sometimes experience. But there is another side to it, another piece, not to miss it. The darkness, the shadows are also light. They're nothing but light. Check it out. There's no such thing as cold. There's only light or the lack of it. There's no such thing as dark. There's only light, the movement of electrons, electricity, light, heat, warmth, energy. There's only light or the lack of it. Shadows are nothing but light. Patience furthers. Hasten slowly, and we shall still together arrive. Any questions or sharing, please? I've been missing you. I'd like to hear from you, and I know many of you have questions. Some of you have been asking to talk to me personally. This is a chance. We'll message the Dzogchen Foundation, retreats at dzogchen.org. Talk to my assistant, Kathleen, the director of the Dzogchen Center, about that possibility. And I'll meet you every day in your practice, in the heart of the matter. Any questions or sharing, please?
Hi, Lama. Yes, we do have a question. What is the difference between Mahamudra and Dzogchen?
For now, almost nothing. Both of the ultimate non-dual awareness teachings of higher Vajrayana or Tantra. If you get more into it, it gets more complex, but it's theology. There's not that much difference. To make a kind of a little jokey comment, it's a fact. There are 4 or 5 schools in Tibetan Buddhism. The Kagyus may emphasize Mahamudra. The Nyingmapas, the old school, may emphasize Dzogchen. The others have both to some extent, and even a third one. Corday Yerme, the inseparability of samsara and nirvana, taught by the Sakya school anyway. The saying is, one of my lamas told me this long ago, the Kagyus say it's the same, the Nyingmapas say it's different. Who are you going to believe these days? There's no need to argue.
It looks like someone else is asking about Zen and Dzogchen as well.
Well, you'd have to define and know what we're talking about to make those subtle distinctions. It's like, what's the difference between, I don't know, an apple, a tangerine, and a tangelo? So apple and tangerine are easy. Tangerine and tangelo a little more complex. Orange and tangerine easy. There's subtleties in this. We're in the philosophical religious field here. Christianity has many different strands and schools. Zen is part of Mahayana Buddhism. to be simple, the great vehicle, the Bodhisattva way of universal deliverance, as is Tibetan Buddhism. So Dzogchen, Mahamudra, and Zen are all similar in that way. The Bodhisattva path. Theravadan Buddhism, the way of the elders, is a little different, although all Buddhism has the same goal and Eightfold Path and Four Noble Truths and all that, about individual liberation and so forth, Theravadan Buddhism. Another way of cutting the same pie, if you have a pizza and you want more pizza, cutting it into more pieces don't help your hunger more. But it may psychologically help if you eat 12 pieces instead of 4. I don't know. Or if there are 12 people present, then you cut it in 12. Basically, the way I like to joke about it is Theravadan Buddhism is like black and white photography. That's the original Buddhism taught by Buddha. Simple, straight, direct, monastic, about renunciation, awakening, enlightenment, liberation, so on, impermanence. Zen Buddhism is like color photography. And Tibetan or Vajrayana Buddhism is like psychedelic photography. But that's just about colors and styles. Nobody has really intelligently written and taught much about the difference between Zen and Dzogchen, but you can find one small booklet by the late Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche, a very international master, teacher, scholar from Tibet, historian, who lived his last many decades in Italy, learned Italian and English, has a lot of meditation centers. Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche, many books. There's a small, obscure one called Dzogchen and Zen. You might check it out. But it's a recondite kind of abstruse subject, may not be that important. But Zen was a reform back to simplicity of original Buddhism, so it stresses just sitting, not a lot of ritual or study. Although if you're in Japan or China and Korea and these places, you can see there's plenty of that in the Zen tradition. But it's less philosophical than Indian Mahayana Buddhism, Chinese Mahayana Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism. It's less tantric than Tibetan Buddhism. It's less renounced and monastic than Theravadan Buddhism. Anyway, you'd have to know more about these traditions before you really compare them intelligently. So I just give you an outline of some of the similarities and differences. I think the important thing is, and we're here, meditating together and praying together and practicing mind training, attitude transformation, lojong, practicing concentration and insight meditation, practicing non-attachment and equanimity. That's what's important. Not what color the robes are, what language, what country it comes from, how the incense smells, whether they have red hats, yellow hats, or dare I say blue hats, or no hats. This was much discussed in India for 2,500 years. Even when I was there briefly in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, my friends and I, people on the path, people you meet, and our teachers of all kinds and scholars of all kinds would discuss these things in many different ways. And finally, one bright, wise acre American meditator at the Goenka course in Bodh Gaya in 1970, 3 or 2. And there were many of the mindfulness and meditation teachers there that you would know teaching in the West these days who have a name. This is 40, 50 years ago when we were studying in India together and going to retreats. His name was Tom. I can't remember his last name. He said, "Great vehicle, small vehicle. All vehicles will be towed at owner's expense." So don't get caught up in the, what's tertiary. I like Dzogchen and Mahamudra because it seems like it's the direct portal, direct access, awakening now teaching, not about many lifetimes. You don't have to believe in anything or rebirth. not about many levels or bhumis to enlightenment and so on. Not about much ritual and philosophy, although it's all there in the background, Buddhist philosophy and epistemology, mind training, attitude transformation, compassion and loving kindness, meditation, purification, wisdom practices, and so on. I think naked awareness practices, non-dual awareness, integrated in daily life is the way, the truth, and the light today. And that's my thoughts and my opinion. Obviously, I think Dzogchen is best. Otherwise, I'd be doing something else. That means best for me.
So we have one more question. This is around artificial intelligence and the coming superintelligence. Can technology be a meaningful tool for spiritual growth, or does it inherently present obstacles to authentic human experience?
I don't think it authentically presents obstacles to to human experience. Who knows? You might say the same thing about cars, steam engines, telecommunications, or even for that matter, printing presses. You know, how far back you go into technology, guns, bows and arrows, you know, metal tools instead of stone ones. But more, I know what you're getting at. There's a lot of concern today about AI and whatever's next taking over or ruining us. In the 50s, 60s, people and teachers and people, adults I knew used to say, TV is going to ruin reading. Nobody's going to read anymore. It didn't really happen. And then, you know, keep screens out of the schools. And then within 10, 15 years, there were language labs as learning tools with earphones and electronics. And then there were video screens for various purposes, multimedia learning at school, not just now we have distance virtual learning. You know, I don't know if virtual learning is as good, but it's something. And if you're closed in or if there's a pandemic, at least it's something. And Zooming, getting together by Zoom has been good. It may not be the same as getting together in person, but maybe it is. When you see your grandchild take their first steps because you're Zooming with the family or FaceTiming, I'd say that's a big step. You know, one small step for baby, one large leap forward for mankind and for grandparents who are at a distance. So I think it's how we use it, you know, it shouldn't be using us. Of course, we don't entirely understand the implications of these new things like AI. What else did you say? You didn't mention chat, bot.
Yeah, the superintelligence, I think, is what was
the next superintelligence and whatever's after that. And, you know, who gets a hold of it. And I mentioned the movie Oppenheimer about Einstein, Bohr, Oppenheimer, Fermi, the guys that invented the atom bomb and the hydrogen bomb. And many of them had great ethical qualms about it being turned into a weapon. But, you know, atomic energy might be good and necessary, better than coal. I don't know. There's pluses and minuses. It's not just a weapon. So let's see what happens. But probably we should get up with it. Those who are interested, just like we had to learn to, you know, use cell phones and computers and, I mean, most of us, and do email and things like that, or whatever they're doing now, TikTok, etc. I don't do social media much myself, but I use a computer every day for writing, for email, for research, for listening to music on Spotify, for listening to people's lectures or going to seminars. It's very helpful. So I think it's not the thing itself, but what we do with it makes all difference. You know, does technology overtake us and use us, or do we use the technology? So it could be useful for spiritual purposes, I suppose, just like distance learning, Zooming, videos, conference calls, tape recordings has been helpful for education and maybe even for higher education, as I like to call it, not just college, spiritual evolution and progress. But of course, that's a very intimate matter. So how you relate outer and innerly, we have to balance. We have to balance. Balance is the great middle way, free from extremes. never saying never and always. And I think we'll probably be fine. I'm more concerned about the environmental issues and tipping point, but we'll see. We'll see.
Very good. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Lama, we thank you as always for your time and putting this on for us. I wanted to remind everyone of the programs that are coming up, and please sign up for the masterclass that is this coming weekend, and then also the retreat that is in October.
The master class this weekend, I love it. I really go into things there in those 2-hour sessions once a month. We also send you homework and questions to think about before the class and afterwards. I mean, I send it with my assistant. I don't mean everybody sends you stuff. So it's a great thing. It's very rich. Thank you all. Love to one and all. And enjoy the weekend. Be well. Happy trails.